Yep.
Hey.
Yeah, we're good. Audio.
All right. Okay. Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, a branch out of Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, going honor to
Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakodash.
double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers, you know, and to the scattered that are scattered among the heathen that look like the heathen. Right. And to those few Aquath that are listening and learning, you know, we give a sincere shalom. We just gonna jump right into this thing. And can I get a second Ezra 2 and 8 to kick this thing off? Because basically, you know, one of the main prophecies in this, you know, in the end times before. Also, somebody gets second Ezra 6 and is that 7 and 8? The end of the world. Okay. Is that the man of sin has to be revealed, and you know, and that's pretty much that has happened, and the evidence that that's pouring out on the internet nonstop is you know, he's exposed. I mean, Esau, he would get away with things, you know, for weeks and months at a time. Esau's getting exposed the next day, the same day. Like, and I'll give you an example. They're using footage and images of war that happened 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Even training sessions.
And all things of that nature. And then people are putting them on blast on every form of social media. So basically, the American Western media has lost all credibility. In all honesty, man, only the you know, the ones who walk around life with horse blinders on believe anything they have. So if anybody could bring out those couple scriptures.
First one you said was 2 Ezra 8, or was it 7? 2
Ezra 2 and 8.
2 and 8. That's the first one he asked. He asked for 6.
This is 2 Ezra 2 and 8. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Ashur, thou hidest the unrighteous in thee."
That wasn't what I wanted, but that still sounds good. No. Did I say second Thessalonians, right?
I got
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Start at the top. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai."
Go straight to verse 8, brother.
Verse what?
Verse 8, the revealing.
Oh, okay, come on.
Let's go straight to verse 8.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming."
Right, that's a very important prophecy. You know what, Murphy? You actually can open it up a little wider. Now these lights on, all these bodies in here. But that's because Esau that's good, brother. Because Esau is getting exposed, you know, like a, hey, you know that man behind the curtain, Toto pulled the curtain down, man.
Toto,
you know, he's like, hey, never mind this man behind the curtain. No, we see you, man. We see you. You know, and he's getting embarrassed, and he's getting exposed to his shame. You know, it's being, you know, he's being shamed with this exposure. All right. And then you got people out here teaching these bugged out doctrines, and you know, you still got people running around talking about the Japhet is the white man, and you know, and all that. You know, man, because you know, with the hot subject of the topic of what's going on in Ukraine, which is all distraction, because there was a certain thing that just happened in America and around the world that seemed to have gotten cured or just went away completely with the events that are taking place in Ukraine. You know, now the exposure of two major medical companies. We won't say any names or anything like that, but you got two major medical companies that were found to have patents on certain things and issues that were pertaining to the health and safety of the public. And these two, you know, they were found to have patents and ownership for certain things that were spread around and was supposed to be killing people, but we'll leave it at that.
Well, wasn't they having a hearing and that just went away? And they were talking about how the
because they don't,
the sites released.
They don't want it to talk. They don't want to talk about it. So that's why all of a sudden everything was lifted. Because to even mention it is going to bring focus to it, and plus with the exposure, you're right, brother. So yeah, they were having hearings, and all of a sudden there's nothing. Because the funny thing is that when Putin invaded Ukraine, according to them. Supposedly invaded Ukraine, according to this very undependable, unreliable news sources. It just happened to cure this other issue that we were having worldwide, so it seemed. It just completely cured it.
What happened to Canadian truckers?
It was a representative that actually was bringing them to trial. Yep, that's what happened. It was an older Edomite dude, and he was going back and forth. Now remember, that's just gone away. Yep. We don't hear about it no more. We don't hear the results of it. We don't know if they still having hearings right now about it.
And see, that's just it. Once this man gets exposed, he just uses his media as a distraction tool by keeping other things. Now I like to, it's hard not to bring it up, but I compare it to what my personal experience is with the law, with my lawsuit. Because once you beat him and improve, once you prove your point to the public, to Esau, Edom, then what they do is they just ignore the issue and throw in front of the camera, in front of the faces of the people, something completely different.
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening here. And that's being made well now the common citizen is beginning to see and understand that now. And that's creating a problem for them. So it won't be that much longer before they just implement their sword. But can we get that second Ezra, Bob?
Second Ezra 6 and 8, right? 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? For when shall the end of the first? When shall be the end of the first? And the beginning of that which followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand first held the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So this is also how this scripture, along with many others, completely annihilates the false doctrine that Japhet is the so-called white man.
That's right.
Because Japhet, the end of the world comes, Esau's ruling, not Japhet. So by saying that Japhet is the white man, what you're saying is that Japhet is ruling, and there's no prophecies that Japhet would oppress the whole world, that they would oppress the Israelites, that they would, put the Israelites into perpetual slavery, and the world, through usury and things like that. There's no scriptures. And Japhet is not identified as the wicked in the Bible either. So anyone teaching that or saying that is teaching a false, complete, and total false doctrine. And any precepts y'all got.
No, Salak. Japhet not even mentioned in Psalms 83. So, I mean, come on.
Man.
That's a boom. Man, well, with that, we're going to give all. Hey, bro.
The children of Seth.
Yeah, but
it mentions all the nations. It includes the one that says all the children of Seth.
I mean, it's like,
no, he said in Psalms 83.
Yeah.
Okay.
The table of the nations, all the nations. Well, second Mac was one nation have not had part. So fuck Japhet too. I know what you mean.
They not mentioned by name specifically, but they cover when it says
all the children of Seth.
well, I mean, it's like, if we constantly having contact with Japhet, he should be the #1 enemy.
It's gonna be all through the scriptures. Absolutely.
I got that. I meant to read the third verse. The brother pointed it out. I read the 8th verse in 2 Thessalonians. It's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition."
And that goes right with the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Which starts off, this is the proverb to the king of Babylon. Then it calls this king of Babylon, this ruler, all right, Lucifer, he's going to fall. He is that wicked one. Who is that? Edom. All right, who has been exposed? Edom. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare, have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is for his brethren and his neighbor, and he is not. So Edom will be the ones to be exposed to the end. Going right with that 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3 and verse 8. Edom will be the one that'll fall from heaven, that Lucifer, that king of Babylon.
Go ahead and get that verse 14. And this perfect image on the screen with that curtain being pulled back by Toto there. You can see that devil at work, pushing his buttons, injecting shit, messing up the food, messing up the water, communicating lies, false media, all that. The curtain pulled back and just caught him in the action. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 14. I'm going to start at 4 and then I'm going to jump down. Isaiah 14 and 4. If thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, This subject of was who's getting his destruction. Can we get what's the Isaiah 34?
And
Isaiah 36. My sorcery babes and Idumea.
34.
34. Sorry, I want, but this
that's
Isaiah
one of my
14.
favorite scriptures, man.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. And who's that wicked? The same wicked that's mentioned in 2 Thessalonians. The same wicked right here. Go ahead, up.
This is Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever.
So this king of Babylon, this ruler, all right, will be the Edomites, the wicked. And the Lord is prophesying against him. This is his destruction that we're reading about, man. And it comes from him being exposed, him being made known he's the father of lies, and ultimately it's going to come with this great destruction, man. Back in Isaiah 14 and 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke. Who's done that? They got the get down and lay down spirit, man. All right, if you don't rock with us, then we'll bomb. If you don't rock with us, we're sending hitmen, fight national hitmen. They destroy your whole goddamn economy, man. Right.
Well, actually, shit, he even fucks up. It says in the scriptures, he comes against those that are at peace with him. So shit, even if you get down, shit, especially you Jakes, the Lord still have eject your ass.
That's why, eventually, his allies are gonna turn against him, man.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna stick that knife under his fifth rib, man. When he think they gonna hit him, man.
Germany probably be leading the pack on that, man. Cause that's who get all that Russian goddamn oil.
Facts.
And they ain't going, man. Germany was once part of Russia, man.
Beautiful.
The USSR.
Shit, it took Russia to take down Germany back in World War II. If it wasn't for Russia, World War II would not have been won.
Right.
But not by how it was currently going. Right, and they're not going to tell you all.
Russia.
As a matter of fact, Russia was the deciding factor that won World War II, man.
To stop the spread.
Right, but then they were kept out of the agreements. But
they were afraid of them.
But that was the Lord. That was the Lord doing that, man.
It was because Russia, just like Germany was supposed to be the brains. The might of Esau is Russia. They actually have the fighting.
The war.
Just I put it this way: look at Germany, look at Britain, look at America and the European forces, and then look at Russia and their different armies, and see who's training. Would you be afraid? Who you like? Damn, okay, these motherfuckers. When you watch the Russians train, you watch their little their Spetsnaz, whatever their special forces, whatever.
Yeah.
They doing shit that is damn near the movies, man.
They go
You know
back
what I'm saying?
They go back to the ancient Apostle Paul, the ancient Scythians.
Scythians.
And they do the sambo. They do all this. They do some-
Scythians. Yeah, we just watched a mighty Russian destroy a game ass Jake. That big 270-pound, 280-pound Jake just got annihilated by this Russian, and he weighed about 40 pounds less than him, man. All right, last night, So the ancient Scythians, man, and the Scythians were warlike people, man.
And another point, and who's ruling at this point in time, because Edom's language is English, and for aviation, right, you have to know English, man, to fly a plane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Not Tagalog, not Arabic.
That's right.
That's a
Portuguese,
good point, but not Arabic, man. Because look how hairy the Arabs is. That's Esau.
Arabia.
Yeah,
Hey, look,
I just
Esau
went
don't
back and
mean
Esau
Arabia.
behind that.
Right. Esau don't mean hairy, man.
That's
Y'all
right.
read that Genesis wrong, so he was red all over, like a garment, because when you wear clothes that goes from head to toe, man. All right, he's not fucking hairy. Ishmael is Ishmael. You can look at the history and know that, man.
Hey, Ishmael know he Ishmael.
Right. Yeah, just like a lot of Elamites know their Elam.
Yep.
And a lot of Ethiopians know they'll say yes, man.
Cushites.
They even go back and tell you they're Kush.
Yep.
I met a girl from Sudan, and she knew that she was the actually ancient Egyptian. And when I said that, she said, "Oh my God!" And she started sending me pictures and photos that she be showing other people, Arabs and everybody else, who claim Egypt, and she be defending her Egypt hood. And she be like, showing them, this is us. This is what they used to look back, how we would do, showing them the Hebrews. And I just got wooed because nations, a lot of these older nations, they know their history. Now the younger groups, and because you got in every single nation, you got your elite, and in every single nation, you got your peons, your simple sheeple who just simple. All right. And so they don't know shit.
Hey,
but these older and these educated and these elites of these different nations, they know who they are, where they come from. That goes back to Psalms 83 again. Let us make a confederacy. Let us hide them because we know who the fuck they are. How many times y'all do we go to the gas station? Different here and there.
I was just yeah.
And we go to the gas station with the family. Arabs telling us, I'm like, you know who the Israelite.
They know what they say. Me, I'm Isaac, you Ishmael.
Yeah.
Say cousins.
They know the difference.
Say cousins.
They know.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, not all of them, but as a nice percentage.
Some of them.
It's the older ones.
Some of them don't keep their customs. They just want to come to America
And be
fuck the nigga over in their stores for a couple grenade juices.
They
That's right.
You know, this matters, man. This back in Isaiah 14:6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindering. I'm gonna jump down. Damn.
Hey,
I'm gonna jump to 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirs the dead for thee, even all the chiefest of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So these, at some point, all the rulers, man, because Jeremiah, I believe, is the 51st chapter, it says all that been the bow pointing to Babylon. At some point, all these nations are going to turn against you, man. It's going to be you and the Israelis holding hands, man. All right, taking a walk into the sunset called nuclear missiles, man.
That's it.
All right,
That's it.
like pomp is brought down to the grave. We seen it. The world ain't fearing you like they used to. Back when you read Revelation, it says, "Who can make war with the beast? Who can fuck with America? Who can fuck with America and its allies?" But now we say, "Motherfucker, fuck your sanctions." They say we got enough gold reserves to carry ourselves over.
And now that you said that with that gold reserves, they just connected the gold to the ruble.
Right.
And what you have to understand is that Russia is there what 30 billion in debt, but America is 30 trillion, really like 200 trillion in debt.
Yep.
So a lot of those allies that are dealing with Russia, you have to understand they're going to see that Russia is the better deal. Do we want to connect ourselves?
That's right.
Do we want to connect ourselves to a system, to a money system that's 30 trillion in debt?
That's right.
All right.
That's right. They started the BRICS and
with that money is backed by nothing,
right.
Or do we want to connect ourselves to this gold-based currency that's solid? And the country leading it is only 30 billion in debt, all right, which can easily be fixed.
Yeah, 30 billion is a small thing, compared to fucking trillions.
To 30 trillion, which is really 200 trillion.
Especially when you got gold, because you got something tangible.
You got something
tangible.
tangible.
Pay it back. You can never pay back. If a Rala come up with something called a Rala's, he give me one and want two back. I can never give him that second one because it don't exist. Only he got the power to have them.
There it is.
And that's that fractional reserve.
And people are beginning to see that. All right, people are beginning to understand that. You got common citizens. This is part of that conversation.
I had Uber ride. We talking about. It got real political. He was being conscious of what he said to realize. I was like, no, you can say how you want to say. If you report you back, go ahead. And he came.
Yeah, once you get it comfortable. I used to do it with my man when I used to take a lot of taxis, but before Uber, I used to get them comfortable talking. Mm-hmm. I would say what I got, and once they see. This dude, he
ain't no dummy.
Especially these foreigners. You know, when you're talking to people from Palestine, these Arabs, when you're talking to these Africans, and once they realize you're not no diehard, dumbass, brainwashed American that think America can do no wrong,
open up to
they open up to you.
So rough right now, this is an Edomite. He said, look, they trying to take guns from the people that want to protect their amendment. They ain't gonna be able to come take them. Basically said, we're gonna get violent. He said they ready to get violent, man. This is an Edomite, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, my uncle in the world, he said, once they start to do this, I said, they're going to come try to take your guns because he's a gun collector. Mm-hmm. He said, we'll tear this bitch up. I was like, shit.
Hey,
they get everybody's sentiment. You go to the Edomite militias, they're going to say that. You go to these Edomite rich motherfuckers out there in Wilmette, if they was going to come against, they're going to say that. You go to these niggas in the hood, they're going to say that.
I was just going to say that.
I was about to say,
I went to a gun class, man. And the instructor that was giving the thing, man, the dudes, I think he said that he had almost 200 guns.
Hey.
You know, and he said he had almost 200 guns, and that they're not all in one place. That his family owns different houses and properties in the southwest suburbs,
God.
and he got access to all his stuff, and that he knows that they're gonna try to do that, and they're not gonna be able to do that.
Oh,
And he said, yeah, and you know, the dude's heavily in tune in that, you know, into the license carry and all that other stuff, and all the people he know, they gonna have a problem. With
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a big problem.
He did a whole like interview video, like MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
Where this was his warehouse of weapons. He got.
Oh yeah,
Army weapons. So he got tanks in his shit.
He got
He
tanks.
said all this shit is active and working.
That's the same dude who had the miniguns on the Jeep.
Bro,
He had
this man is crazy.
Miniguns on the Jeep.
he had 4 miniguns on the Jeep, and he said you got
about like the Predator
the miniguns, electric miniguns, and he could control them from the inside of his Jeep.
Now he ain't got to come out.
He ain't got to come out. He
thought
said,
the dude said, what was the what was the
yeah,
character
he ain't got to get out the Jeep.
in the Marvel movie Fury? He about to do
Con.
Fury.
Hey, he also said, I always keep it loaded because you never know when you gotta use it.
Yeah, they ready.
He keep it loaded. I mean, them bullets this fucking big. I mean, them bullets big as hell.
You know, your Homo sapiens and your
guys.
and all that, it's gonna come to naught. But guess what? Esau's not going down with a fight. These 2/3 ain't going down to fight. These heathens ain't going down with a fight. And Esau, the hubris of Esau, to think that he's like the Most High, that he can actually control. Esau, you can't even number the people right. He says about 8 billion people. Nigga, you
It's
ain't
more
even
than that.
explored the fucking Amazon.
And people
You haven't even been at the bottom of the ocean. You don't know. And then you come to the hood. How many niggas open up the door when the census people say, yes, we have 7 people,
Nobody.
2 dogs, and 2 cats? These niggas, I send them off every fucking time. And I know I'm not the only nigga who send them off.
No, and you know, I know the kingdom do it too, man.
Exactly.
So you gotta understand, man. Like that's what I'm telling you. I'm gonna mention that Batman again, man. You can that control that chaos. That chaos is coming. And they know it's coming, and they want to try to, you know, the term of order ab chaos. But see, what you have to understand is you cannot control chaos.
I can't.
You would think that they listened to Professor Malcolm in Jurassic Park when he did the little water thing. You know, he's like, that's the problem. He said that's the problem with you doing all this crazy experiments and all this bullshit. You can't control chaos, no matter how hard you try with your media. You feed people with all this wine and all this, you know, all this bullshit, you know, on these screens, but you cannot control chaos.
They react.
You can't do it, man.
Hey,
Check it out, brother.
John chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of sufficiency, he shall be in straits, every hand wicked shall come upon him.
Bring it down, brother. Oh, come on.
No, he should be in straits. Meaning everything just go out. It's gonna get out. Gonna get so out of control.
Break that wicked down.
Yeah, break the wicked down, though. Somebody get Habakkuk 2:15.
The Hebrew word for that wicked right there is aimal, which is
laborers.
Laborers. So, which is your common, regular man, and that's a mistranslation, and was intentionally set by Esau to go ahead and you know, everything he's about misdirection. There ain't gonna be no wicked. Well, some of them gonna be wicked, but some of them gonna be righteous. The people you can. The scripture says in Proverbs, when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. When the wicked are in rulership, they mourn. Everybody on the planet is mourning. Everybody's sad.
The whole planet.
It doesn't matter where the fuck you go. You're hearing drama after. Matter of fact, I'm getting gas in Indiana because coming from the league, whatever. And here's the Issachar right on the side. It's like, my God, just a couple of weeks ago it was 440. I mean 340 in India, which was high, and they complained about that because usually it's around 320, 325.
And that's
now Indiana. Now Indiana is 396. I got gas. I'm like $4 in Indiana. I ain't never seen gas in Indiana at $4.
They making $8. They making $8 an hour. They ain't making no fucking money.
And that's right. Say that again.
They making $8 an
They're
hour.
not making 10
No, you gotta go. You gotta go to Indianapolis to make some good money, like Hammond, Gary, and all. They ain't making no fucking money. So when gas prices go up, what's else gonna go up? The cost of food, the crime gonna go up. The cost of it's finna this bitch finna bust open.
That's the chaos.
You know,
it's coming, man. You can't control chaos.
Hey, another thing, I went to work. I was at my job, one of my jobs. I was talking to one of the maintenance men, He said, man, he was like, ever since I was 21, I was spending $200 on ammunition since I was 21 years old. The man was in his 50s years old. He said, I've been preparing for this shit since I was 21. You know what I'm saying? They know this shit coming.
So he saw it even back then.
Even back then, he said in his house, he made a safe room in his house. He said he took out the drywall and he put concrete. It's all concrete in one room as the safe house. Like, this motherfucker prepared for this shit. Yeah, and you have to think Esau and these other Edomites.
He built himself a safe room.
A safe room. Yep.
Somebody read that scripture that I called for Baba Kushan. And somebody get on one of them fancy phones and look up safe rooms. All right, because there wasn't a movie called Safe Room. Yeah, Baba Kushan.
This Habakkuk.
This is one of the reasons why there's going to be so much rebellion. Go ahead.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunk also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Right. So basically, all these lies that they didn't talk, that they didn't did, not only to Jacob but to the whole world, man. I was having a conversation with the brother Asha on the way over here, man. How you have to understand, man. These people have completely hijacked our complete heritage, and even our past heritage, which was off. All right. To trying to propagate a lie. Like, you have yet another Viking show to come out. All right? And they even tell you on the History Channel that these stories, that these shows, when you read, that they're all fiction based upon characters of real life characters, but the stories are all fiction. All right? And the point being is that the relics in history reveal that the people that live in Britain and Scotland and Ireland and different parts of Europe, that the original inhabitants there were so-called black people. During the times that all these events happened, that they're making all these movies about. So when you're talking about Alfred and Bruce the Black and all these characters that they're making all these movies about, putting it on different social media platforms, all those people were Negroes, man. So that's a part of that wine, all right? That confusion and the fact that these people claim to be WASP, white Anglo-Saxon people, all right? What's they'll tell you? Well, then the real Anglo-Saxons were not white, because white is made up. Right. They completely made that shit up, man. And then the relics and the books, I got about 4 or 5 books at home that tells you that the Bosque meaning bodies that were found all over Britain, all over Ireland, all over Scotland, were those of small black men. It was black bodies found buried in all the cemeteries all over the damn. So why is it so? You're stealing our history? No, you stole our history. And now that the truth is coming out about it, you got a problem with it, man. Why? Because you've been pushing forth that wine on those lies. And then our most important history of us being the Israelites. You hijacked it. Like I said, you hijacked our heritage. And then you hijacked our bullshit heritage. All the stuff that we became after we got scattered. So these people are just trying, and so you just lies, and we're living in a time and age when you're being exposed, man, and they can't handle it.
That's it.
They hate it. And so eventually they're going to shut all this down.
Could you read that again?
Yes, sir. This Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15.
Brother, pull the doorbell. You cold over there or something? You can come over this way if you cold, brother.
This Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him.
See, it's like the elders alluded to, it's not only just the liquor, because we know they did that in Gad. They gave them the alcohol. They would give them the polio blanket and so forth like that. But guess what? The Lord calls false doctrine. They drunk, what says they drunk it, but not with wine.
And they stagger, but not with strong drink.
But not with wine. Anything that's going to lead the
false
real
doctrine, false history.
Yep.
All
that. And that's what to make sure that Jake understands. When the Lord talks in parable in this vernacular right here, it's letting anytime you send somebody off and they fall for that shit, it's like giving them some straight up drink, some motherfuckers some straight up crack. You know how the motherfuckers get crackheads to become crackheads? They usually don't even tell them it's crack. They just get them on this shit, and then they can't, once they got that high, they need that high again.
It's
angel dust. And now Jake is getting this high off of the philosophies of this world, off of Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And all this other bullshit.
Hollowswood.
Right? And now Jake is drunk. Drake is drunk. and revoked it and gone.
Can that brother jump up to verse 12? Read.
It's angel dust.
This Habakkuk 2, verse
What's
12.
that?
Woe to
Friday.
him that buildeth a town with blood,
He's the father of lies.
and establish a city by iniquity. Behold, is it not of Yahweh of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity?
And that goes with that Job. That's the laborers, man. The people are laboring in the fire. This place is here now and ready to perish, man. This is a vain place to put your hope in. And Esau has got the nation. He's selling nations, man. Like I say, man. These people have put their hope in the U.S. dollar, put their hope in Esau, Western medicine, and Western mindset, democracy. This is liberating. You know, but this is all better. This shit is going down, man.
And every place that's involved in democracy, there's quite a few things that happen.
That's right.
And some of the things that happen is crooked politics.
Absolutely.
They're all heavily in debt.
Yep.
Most of those societies are susceptible to different forms of violence, and then most of those societies they have lifestyles, alphabet lifestyles, which go contrary to what the Lord, propagated.
If you speak against it, you're demonized.
Yeah.
And pushed to the bottom of the toilet.
Well, see, that's what it's all about. Death here, whether indirectly or directly, it's all about death, and what they cover, they mask death with liberation.
It's free
So you're free to do whatever you want to do and then ultimately die.
It's the serpent.
Rather than being captive to life.
It's the serpent. It's the same deal as the serpent.
He wants so once he found that he sought it carefully for repentance and was cut down, he's like, okay, and if I can't play on the court, I'm taking my ball and I'm taking the court. And I'm gonna take you too. He's gonna take everything.
Ministry love company. That's in Romans the 1st chapter. He knows that he's gonna be destroyed. He don't have pleasures doing himself. He has pleasure others doing their wickedness with him. Yep. One more verse,
This Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh as the waters cover the sea.
There you go, man. So the laborers are now at least saying that Esau is the wicked. Like it says in Nahum the 3rd chapter, that brood is spread abroad, man. That wicked is not passed through. They all know and see the devil, man.
That's right.
All right, so you've been exposed over and over, man. The laborers are ready, so they see the devil. They ready to rebel against you, man. Even some dumb niggas. Hey, niggas are stupid, man. Yes, the Lord called them sottish. Yes. So I can say it, man. Niggas are stupid and simple. And these niggas are talking about rebellion. I wish they still stupid for trying to do it their way. They're arming up and getting guns. But everybody's knowing that Esau's the devil and ready to come against them, man. The hand of the laborers are coming against you. You've been exposed, as the scriptures say, man. And you even got some regular niggas calling Edomites. Nick Cannon's walking in on the set of BET, talking about them damn Edomites, man.
What?
Yeah, Nick Cannon did that. He came in and said,
Man, they
I met Nick and Kanye the same motherfucking day. The spirit on Nick was a brotherly spirit. The spirit on Kanye was an Edomite spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I was working in LA.
Kanye embraces his enemies, man.
Yes, he does.
It's clear.
Yes, he does.
Because he's all about that money, man.
Yeah,
he embraces his enemies, and that's clear. Just
was he set up?
The way he speaks.
Yep. And he's set up to get Jake to come. Like I every time we go down to a area where I'm talking about around a whole bunch of Jake, what I hear Jake regurgitate is everything that Esau say and the news say. They have no mind of their own. They do no research of their own.
Well, Kanye actually rebelling.
Still walking around with masks. Both northern and southern kingdom. Especially Issachar.
Oh, you took the word out.
Man, it's like Issachar just has his love affair with the enemy, man. Even more so than the other tribes and the other northern.
I say it all the time.
This shit is crazy, man.
It's the most coolest. The Mexicans, the most coolest tribe.
Yeah, that's why the other Latin tribes they Issachar so much because they'll say that they act like they're bougie and shit, like they and some level and shit. When all the other ones, you can see like they got, you know, they embrace their style and whatever, but you know,
Issachar, he goes to Esau. Issachar loves Esau.
They be teaching their children to tell them better the race, and what that means is
deal with the white man.
Get with them so that our
race will get better.
But we were the Aztecs at one point.
Yeah.
So
The Mayans, you know what I'm saying?
See, now I work at Margaritas, which is majority. It's half the matter of fact. The back of the house is all Issachar. The ones who do all the driving and do the other stuff with some of the man or whatever is so-called Southern Kingdom. But when I'm hearing from all the Issacharites, they follow Esau. They follow him. He come up with a news word, and now you know, old to young, and that's the sad part. It's their culture. You're not lying. They gravitate. They follow. What this? Oh, Jay, because the fucking Southern Kingdom do the goddamn same thing. All right. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to come bowling this week because I ain't seen everybody with their mask on, so I'm gonna have to quit. We lost people on our team because they don't want to be around people because they ain't got their mask on.
That's my mama. My mama don't come out the house. Still got sick.
They're falling for the false narrative, man.
Hey.
All right. Go ahead, bring it up.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 4. It says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord." Right? So, just like the title, it's useless to resist the prophecies, all right? Because what's happening is the Most High God, His will is being done. Because again, it says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, right? It says, and in due time, He will set over it one that is profitable. In due time. That denotes that the one that's over it right now is unprofitable for the earth and those that's in it, right? So here it is. He has given the power over unto the one that's unprofitable. That's why in Daniel it says that he setteth up over it whomever he will, even the basest of men. All right, the lowest in morality, the lowest, you know, the last, the least, the opposite of him, all right, is ruling right now. And they're in power. But I'm going to jump up a couple verses in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 10 and 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Read that again.
It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are all his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is,
that's so heavy.
Such are all they that dwell therein.
Right, and then one of the main proponents of pushing they that dwell therein is how Esau uses the so-called Negro woman. Right?
That's it.
She's one of the main mouthpieces
shrill
that speaks, and then a lot of the tribes, Issachar and the rest of the tribes, they'll follow behind her because she's in line with Esau, Edom.
Well,
and they think they're safe, but like but there is no safe room. There is no safe place, man.
Hey, just like the original Edomite, basically that was in the garden, went to Eve. All right, the weaker vessel. All right, and that's what they're doing right now. All right, going to.
I want to say, there. You know, I don't know if you heard that word. They're shrill, SHRILL. To sound shrilly, it's imitative. Right. A shrill, like Alex Jones, he's a shrill. He comes up like, in America, there's an America act. But guess what? He's American, really actually pushing America. He's in cahoots with him. Right. But he's set up to be the opposition.
Yeah.
Well, that's Esau doing that to control. Jake are pure shrills, where they just imitate everything that they see. They have no. Let's see. I'm gonna flip it to the spiritual side. Why did Paul highlight the Bereans? Because they heard everything he said and was like, "Wow, this is amazing. This is great. This is wonderful." Then went home and said, "Let me make sure all this shit."
Right.
This shit is right. Jake and the 2/3, and then the dumb heathens, and of Esau and the rest of the planet, they don't do that. I remember back.
Perfect example is the brother Aisha spoke about it today.
Yep.
Aisha came by the camp and got the breakdown of what it was. The Catholic religion, Christianity was full of shit.
That's right.
All right, and And then 2 years later, he showed up back to camp and said, "Hey, everything that you said was right." Why? Because he did the role. He played the Berean. He went read and studied and started learning. It was like, damn.
Them brothers
We are
was right.
Israelites. Let me go back and see these dudes, man.
That's right. And that was the humility of himself, because beforehand, he never bucked up in a wicked way, but he bucked. And it was like, it was a lot of
Because he was
resistance.
confirmed. He was deep in his shrillness.
Yes, that's it. And his imitativeness.
Hey, Pops.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's right.
Can I bring?
But the thing is, here it is though. Jake, that's why the scripture says, "Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power." Because right now, Jake is willing in the day of whoever in power. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whoever in power, that's who they
He
roll.
must be right.
He must be. That's why.
They're faithless people. They see Esau,
That's
they
it.
have the spirit of a bitch on them.
That's it.
A bitch can only go off what she sees.
Exactly.
These Israelites, all 12 tribes, they see him in power. They don't see Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's why I tell Jake all the time, even not even going into the woman, but you can't even expect a Jake woman to think that a man that looks like you is gonna come out of chariot and save the world. They can't see that ever happening. So our people only go for what they see.
That sky God is gonna save you. You think that sky God is gonna get you?
And that's why it's
that sky God
about. Hey, they seen afar off. See, seeing afar off is you have that eyesight. It's that prudence, that inner vision. And that's only by way of the Holy Spirit being rested upon you. You know, if you don't have the Holy Spirit rested upon you, then you're going to go according to what your actual, eyeballs see.
Can I bring this?
Oh, no, go ahead.
This is John 8:44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him." It says, "Hey, this who is this talking about? Not only is it talking about you coon ass niggas, because you going after what's the word? The shrillness. You want being a shrill, You mimicking Esau, man, because this is who is in power right now, man. But look, at one point in time, 2/3 of our people was even serving the Lord. You was being a suck. Really, you wasn't sincere. You know, that's why a lot of y'all get put to death in the wilderness.
Somebody, you bring out your scripture, but somebody grabbed Deuteronomy 33:29. That your enemy should be found out to be liars.
Con.
And then somebody get 2 Ezra 6 and 27:28.
Con.
Finish your point.
It says because.
Matter of fact, reread that scripture. Finish it.
It's John 8:44. "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do." He was a murderer from the beginning. That's why Jake out here going crazy, killing, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. All right, so when we was going to earlier, how Esau is being exposed, man. All these lies, when he speak and exposing, he's exposing the own lies that he didn't already set up. But you got, look, Esau is the father of this shit, man.
Yes, sir.
He's the first murderer, man. All right?
Lying too.
Huh?
I said lying too.
The first liar too. Am I not my brother's keeper?
The first to escape accountability.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's why you see Jake got that same mindset, that Idumean mindset right now, man.
Yeah, because that's what it as the ruler of the
Like,
city.
and so it's right,
And then when you come against the ruler, now you a hater. Now
Con.
you crazy. Now you a fool. What you got, Pops?
This is Sirach 13. I'm gonna start at 20. "As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. When a rich man is fallen, he has many helpers." Like you said, how women being one of the first ones.
Right.
He speaketh things not to be spoken,
Blasphemy.
and yet men justify him.
Hey, what was one of the things how niggas went after Biden, man? He said, "You ain't black if you don't vote for me," and you fucking dumbass niggas. He spoke Hey, if you was in your right mind, you want to smack this motherfucker, man.
Especially if you know the history of Biden and all the policies.
Right. You know,
that he's responsible
the
for.
lockup policy.
Hold on. He's all the policies that he's responsible for that was oppressive to our people, man.
God.
Right?
He was
one of the main characters in that, man.
Then
What was that 3-strike law out west?
That's him. That was him.
Hey,
That's Biden. Yeah.
That's Biden's special.
Hey, it's funny you say that because that was his specialty, and Kamala Harris enforced it and built her whole criminal justice career on doing that persecution.
Yeah, because I've seen the stories where
they made a whole movie on it.
Story some years ago where the guy he had committed a crime, and his third strike was he stole a damn chocolate chip cookie. He was hungry. He stole a chocolate chip cookie to eat,
that's his third
and he ended up going to jail for 10 years.
And the scriptures
because it was his third strike.
Right, the scripture will tell you not
So,
to even
how-
to come to somebody for stealing for food. And stuff.
Well, not only that, it just goes to show you that they have no balance. Man.
Not at all.
I mean, that's just these people are not fit to rule, man. You don't lock a man up for trying to eat.
They made a whole movie about
They
it.
see if he did some wicked act where he murdered someone, But the dude stole a cookie to eat. It was one of them big ass chocolate chip cookies.
Oh
He was
yeah,
hungry.
that shit sound delicious.
I hadn't eaten in 2 days, man. The cookie was there. I took it. I was hungry.
I wouldn't even feel right putting the cuffs on a nigga.
You guess who put the cuffs on?
A coon.
Turn them over to the police.
A nigga.
Damn nigga, man. You know it was. Bring it out, brother.
That motherfucker from Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nigga.
I hate you,
I hate you,
Comes is black.
Hey, real quick, I hit this precept. This Proverbs 6:30. Proverbs 6.
What at it?
It's Proverbs 6:30. Man do not despise a thief if he still to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. Where's the mercy at?
That's right.
That's
the commandment by the Lord.
And for the same people that's always screaming love, 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 every time you point out their wickedness, every time you point out their real history, they want to scream love. What about love? What about love? But then your policy, you don't show love. Read that again, Bob.
It's Proverbs 6:30. Men do not despise a thief if he still to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. And when you read through the law, even we harvest our lands. We didn't take all our fruit.
We left the corners. We left
the corners.
Right. If you were the grape grabbers, grape gatherers gather enough. Obadiah, the first chapter. He said most people when they go grab, they knew the law. They would gather 75, 80, 90% of their field
From the inside.
Right.
And they left
on
the outskirts.
The outskirts, so that anybody wanted to go walk to the field, the homeless. We had a perfect welfare. Hey, I'm on the wet mouth. The perfect welfare society. So it seems like, man, I'm kind of hurting right now. Damn. Hey, damn. The Yawakanan got the grapes. Oh, this brother got the corn. This brother, I'm gonna just go grab a little bit of something and have some sustenance.
They just harvested.
And they can feed themselves, feed their family, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, even
And they haven't really done no harm. It's on the outskirts. I didn't go on your property. I just reached over and grabbed it and kept it moving.
Hey, even
grocery shopping.
Exactly.
You had to eat it right there.
You had to read it right there.
You had to take it with you. You had to eat it right
That's
there.
it. You know what I'm saying? You ate right there. You got straight and you pushed on.
Hey,
and it was all good. And the person looked out like,
hey, even with
because we do it for the animals. It's how much when the Lord said that he said the sparrows, you're worth more than the sparrows. All right, but remember I used to grow the sunflowers on the side. Remember the one time I grew the big dumb ones, and then the one day we went out there and it was a big dumb one just gone, and the squirrel instead of just taking a little bit took the whole big. And I'm talking about bigger than a human face, sunflower.
you went grocery shopping.
Right. I was mad.
he said, "Damn, I ain't had one of these since I was a kid."
George took the whole nine. But even when we do our garden on a normal basis, It's always animals come in. It's gonna be a possum. It's gonna be a
rabbit.
it's
But
gonna be a
and
rabbit.
Esau kill him.
Something.
And Esau kill him. Esau fucking kill him. Esau, I work for a fucking company, New Farm, man. I work for this piece of shit ass company. They say we don't genetically modify the food. So we genetically modify the food so the chemicals can stick to it so it'll kill the animals when they eat it.
Yeah.
They don't modify, they modify the food so when they spread, it don't kill the fucking food and it'll stick to the food and it'll kill the animals. When we get look, this shit used to piss me off. Every time I got a order, this shit is witchcraft. We would have glyphosate acid, we would have ammonia, all type of shit, bases, and the shit'll get 1,000 degrees, and then you gotta hurry up and put a base in there to cool it off, and it'll cool off immediately. And what it did was, you would get the form, and they'll tell you what the fuck they tested the animal on. What animal they tested on? Whether it was a male, it was a female, what it did to it, how long it lived.
Painful process.
Yes.
And they gave you a history of the animals.
Right on the order form. They give you at the bottom of it. They tell you what it do to the animals.
These niggas are
Data
devil,
sheet.
man.
It's called a data sheet.
A data sheet, material safe the data sheet.
These niggas are devil, man.
They tell you all the chemicals that's in it. That's why Roundup. You see we made Roundup. We made a lot of Roundup. We made a lot of other shit. Yeah, because that shit is carcinogenic.
Esau's so demonic though. Those lawsuits, they give away pennies. Right. They
compared to what they.
And they say if you accept this, you can get a portion of it, but a huge number. They don't tell you how people's gonna fill it out. Right. So you may get $25. They say if you don't accept it, you put the request in, you get your own lawyer, and you can attack them yourself. Okay.
Hey,
but they don't. But that's fine print.
Hey, what's crazy is
so they paid out a couple fucking pennies when they got caught killing people.
Bro,
essentially
pennies. One trail cart. We used to fill up 10 carts, damn near 10 carts a day from all the ships, bro. One cart, $5 million, $10 million, bro. We making $15 an hour to fill a cart that's worth $10 million fucking dollars.
Well, shit, they should have been $40 an hour.
Right.
Yeah, right. Easy. But this we working with the devil. It's the devil. Cruel.
I was just gonna bring out a quick precept. This is Rock 31:24. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted. So Esau, you're a cheap, sick, cruel piece of shit. All right, the men of the Lord are out here rebuking your ass, exposing your ass. Right. All right?
Yeah.
And now the rest of the world is catching up.
Hey.
Even in comedy, I just watched a video. I think it was a TikTok video where I had these two dudes from. They might have been Jakes, might have been Nigerians or just Hamites.
Oh yeah.
But matter of fact, were you the one that sent that to me?
No, you sent it to me.
I sent it to you. That shit was hilarious though, man. But it was so on point. And I'm gonna search to see if it's on YouTube and maybe we'll play it, man. But basically, the two Hamites, they were breaking down all the different bombings that was done by America. And the guy would say, he would say, oh, when Israel bombs Palestine, that's okay. He said, then dudes say, oh, but when Palestine bombs Israel, that's not okay. And so they kept breaking it down, right. And and it just showed how America and its allies, they're just complete and total hypocrites, man. Because once again, it goes back to the poisonous of that wine, of the way that they controlling the narrative, right. Because they have to. Matter of fact, somebody read that Habakkuk 2:15 again, Bob Kashar, and then we also got an experiment. Also goes right along that Nagar put in there with that wine, how they control people by the information that they give out to give you a thought process.
Did you ever play that game, Destroy All Humans?
I haven't played it yet, man.
That's in there. That's in there. Like how they fuck with people's minds. They say the food. Yeah. They say not only the food, the radio frequencies, how they put the radio waves out. It's all in there. Yeah. You got this little Martian running around, but really. It's really Esau. It's really them telling you what they do.
Yeah.
It's really they tell you about mind control. They tell you about the what's the other shit? what they can call it, they could just flip a switch and turn you on. The MK Ultra shit.
Yeah,
They show you the MK Ultra shit. You know, but they put it in a game form in a cartoony fashion.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, look
The
at
cartoons is the yeah.
It desensitized.
Bring
Yeah,
that out, Baba Kashar, real quick. So,
This,
you got it?
Yeah, this Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also. Yeah, makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Right. So once again, going back to the fact of the way they control the narrative and where they give the wine, where they give false or very controlled information to make a person's mindset actually be for them instead of against them, and seeing what they've really done, like the horrific story of the rape and murder of Pocahontas. But yet they took the story of Pocahontas and made it a love story. Like it made it a romantic love story, an interracial to make the so-called white male desire. When no, what the truth behind it is that he's this so-called white man, this Edomite, John Smith, he murdered Pocahontas' husband. She was a young wife. He murdered her husband. He kidnapped and raped her. All right. He also murdered her son because she was young, but she had a son with her husband. So he murdered the father and the son. Kidnapped this girl, raped her. All right. And then kidnapped her and took her away. All right.
Disney do a lot of that.
And that's the truth behind it. Yeah. They made millions behind that. Well, I know we've covered and talked about that before.
You did a video the other day. The post or you did on YouTube. With that, you had three little things you did. I don't know. It's a critical.
I do so much.
And you did one, and it was one by one, but that vibration was in that just now, because this is what Esau does.
He do that a lot with the Disney movies too. Cause Moana, that's another. That shit is actually some wicked ass shit.
Same type thing. But you know, like the focus of with Ukraine and you know and the way they demonize certain individuals and certain groups, and demonize you when you fight, go to defend yourself. What was the movie that I just watched recently? Was one with Rasputin in it with the Kingsman. And how the man said that my people, my father, my people were really bad people, you know, and that made me think that they should complain of ungodly fathers, man. But here, you know, America's talking about Russia being the bad guy. But this is a list of bombs from the EU and NATO, all right, that Ariella sent me. And so I'm just going to run through this list real quick, brother, and then we can go right back to the scriptures, or maybe we can get to that video. You can find it in the group me. All right, but Korea, 1950 to 1953, bombing runs by America and the EU.
That's
all right,
okay.
All right, that's okay. That's okay.
That is okay.
Right. Guatemala, 1954, and plus you got to also remember they also gave Guatemalans syphilis and gonorrhea. They would shoot injections into them. All right. Indonesia, 1958.
Just like the Tuskegee experience.
Yeah, once they
What
stop
is
here,
it? That is okay.
Yeah, they still.
That is
When
okay.
they got cold busted with doing it to the Negroes, they went straight to the Northern Kingdom.
That is
literally
okay.
What happened? So Guatemala, 1954. Indonesia, 1958. Cuba, 1951 to 1961. Guatemala again, 1960. Congo, 1964. Laos, you know, 1964 to 73. Vietnam, 1961 to 73. Cambodia, 1969 to 1970. Guatemala, 1967 to 69. And you know, it's funny, all these people getting bombed are people of color. There's not one European nation on here getting bombed. But the European, the so-called white people are the ones doing all the bombing here. All right? Grenada, 1983. Lebanon, 1983-84. The Lebanese Syrians, Libya, 1986. El Salvador, 1980. Nicaragua, 1980. Iran, 1987. Panama, I'm still looking for a white nation getting there. Ain't no white nation getting bombed.
Oh, Salaki. No, they bombed the white nation out of Malcolm. They bombed Black Wall Street when it was niggas in America. They bombed Boston when it was niggas in America.
Yeah, all right. Well, Panama, 1989.
September 11th.
Iraq, 1991.
That is okay.
That is Kuwait,
okay.
1991. Yeah, this is all okay. Right? So Somalia, 1993. Oh, wait a minute. Bosnia. So we got a white nation, but these were Muslims, though. A lot of them are also ethnically different from so-called white people. All right. So Bosnia from 1994 to 1995. Sudan, 1998. Afghanistan, 1998. Yugoslavia. Same thing was going on.
That is a very long list.
So-called white nations, but
that is okay.
Muslims, right? These are right. So Yugoslavia, 1999. Yemen, 2002, and just a couple days ago. Because nobody heard about it. No, it was Somalia just got bombed a couple days ago because everybody's focusing on Ukraine. 1990, Iraq, 1991 to 2003. Iraq, 2003, 2015. Afghanistan, 2001 to 2015. Pakistan, 2007 to 2015. Somalia, yesterday, 2007, 8, and then 2011. Yemen, 2009 to 2011, and Libya, 2011, 2015. Syria, 2015, 2014 till now. Yeah, and so basically, these were all people of color or Muslims.
Oh yeah, they killed 100.
All right,
about 100
but
one
yet,
bomb in Japan.
but yet, there you go, and that's not even mentioned on here.
Right.
But the point being is that all this was done by the West and its allies. So who's the real threat? Who's the real problem? The real danger? Who's the murderous nation? And then you got Edomites on TV talking about this was disturbing. These are because these are blonde-haired, blue-eyed people that are getting bombed.
Hey, this is what GMS feared the Most High 7 boss said. Good Christian folks seem to love them bombs.
Shoot the predator
God,
drones
brother.
blowing
I had
up
to
innocent people.
put that on display because they do. Because everybody's followed the rhetoric of Esau Edom, then they actually are in cahoots and complicit with what Esau Edom does.
Yeah. Matter of fact, and keep that thought, brother. In the movie, and what was that, Dr. Evil? Or what was that movie?
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. When he said, "I got bombs up the yin yang. Can I bomb them?" And that was, I think that was Tim Curry playing the president. But what were you about to say, brother?
No, I was gonna say because it's the hypocrisy. They tried to get on Russia, and then the speaker for Russia, Lavrov, they tried to get on him saying that Russia killed a lot of Ukrainians' children via collateral damage. So they had him up on the screen saying, trying to get on Russia, but then he came back and said, well, all these thousands of children you've killed over the years, you claim that was collateral damage. So it's like it's complete hypocrisy from the West.
America has bombed weddings.
Bombed weddings, children, kids, hundreds of
hospitals.
Hospitals.
But
then they get the person that does the news.
But see, they weren't blind, blue-eyed though.
Exactly.
So that's not okay.
It's not okay.
Right? You bomb a bunch of Syrians in the hospital. That's okay.
In there with the Red Cross.
Right?
Go.
Hey, that brother,
Bring it out, brother.
Pop's the holding that scene.
Come.
Okay. Okay, verse 22, Sirach 13 and 22. When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken. And yet men justify him.
Let's go. And right now, America is justified in all their bombings. All right, but when Russia do it, because it's the same type of people, the same looking people, the rich man, blonde hair, blue eyes, that was the problem.
That is not okay.
Right. when niggas came up in America, they got bombed.
That's it. Exactly.
Multiple times, man.
Every time we came up.
Black Wall.
Actually, I was about to try to do a really detailed and extensive lesson on that. All the towns that got flooded.
Tulsa ain't the only Tulsa.
I think it was almost 200. It was almost 200.
But not only the Tulsa, Oklahoma shit.
It's been multiple.
Not only that one, but then they flooding over there and putting lakes and you know how many Lake Rainiers and Lake Bam and Lake Baba Bam.
It was almost 200 towns. It was almost 200 prosperous so-called towns, and I'm gonna try and do a detailed lesson on that history.
And it was it's a so-called Black Wall Street that was here in Chicago that they burned over there by Bronzeville. They don't
The Bronzeville was actually called the Black Belt.
Come on, brother.
And the Black Belt was just as prosperous, if not
greater than Wall Street,
if not more prosperous than the Black Wall Street.
Shit, look at the homes still over there.
That's why. How would when you burn a whole neighborhood, when you flood a whole town, when you bomb that they did,
and they built lakes and luxury hotels and places, resorts over these places, and all these places, and most of this happened in the late 1800s, like the 1890s. And then in the all around 1918, 1910. I mean 1918, 1919, because you had the Red Summer, which was 1919, and that's when they got rid of Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, Elaine, Arkansas, and a whole bunch of other places. You know that, and there's many that we also have the Devil's Punch Bowl thing. It's just so. So I'm gonna try to do a real detailed lesson on that. But go ahead, brother.
That's crazy because I just looked this up 5 minutes ago. It says 5 Black American towns hidden under lakes, and ultimate.
Send that to me because I'm gonna use that too. Because there's more than that.
It's
more than that. But I'll start there.
It said 5 Black American towns hidden under lakes and ultimately from history books. It says Oscarville, Georgia. I'm gonna send you. Then it says Cowaliga, Alabama, or Benson, Alabama.
This shit vexes.
You gotta understand. Matter of fact, put up a video and show tubing. All right, show a family having fun. Just go to YouTube and put up family having fun tubing, because that's what's done on these lakes. Where these towns are buried with all the people who died. And were for a lake on the lake, tubing on the lake.
That's what they got tall tales about murderers at the lakes, man. Like Jason Voorhees and different ghosts. They got different ghost stories. Yeah, so that's judgment of the Lord, man.
Yeah. Let's see these Idumeans having fun tubing. Let's see what tubing's all about.
When 30, 40, 50 leagues under the sea, goddammit, it's Jake Towns that's rusted.
Literally not even that far.
Bodies.
Just you know.
I was being facetious, but 20, 30, 50 feet under the ground.
Can we get some sound, brother? Let's get the feel of how much fun they're having. You know.
Becky.
Yeah, and she clean.
Look.
And she going to the chambers.
Yeah, she has nice little buns on her.
My turn. Hey, that looks like a lot of fun, man. I got clients that go do this, and they come back all burnt, you know. Yeah. They be
Don't
burnt.
touch me.
Yeah, it was so much fun though. You know? So that's one of the activities that takes place.
Right on top of our ancestors.
Right on top of our people. Our people's dead bodies, houses and homes, cemeteries, and tombs. Because a lot of them, they never left. They lie dead right where they died, and then they just flooded these areas out, man.
And that land is unclean, man. That blood, and the Lord is going to cleanse it, man.
Right. As a matter of fact, somebody can get that scripture, how the land can be cleansed.
Numbers. I got you.
But yeah, brother, send that to me, Bobby.
And was in Alabama, man. They still going through a lot of shit in Alabama. I played a game with a Jake, and he talk about how they set up the felonies out there. How you get felonies for something, but there's so many laws against felons that they pretty much ruin your life by giving you a felony for a petty crime and destroy your fucking life, man.
Of course, but then you get license, or you can't get certain jobs.
You're squashed down, brother.
And then they tell you that, well, you served your time, blah blah blah, the bam, and it's all bullshit. Because a guy will go to jail, serve his time, pay his debt to society, come out of the prison, and be well qualified for whatever position he's trying to get, and still can't get it because I see you're a felon, you know. And you served, but I thought the whole thing was about rehabilitation, forgiveness. Where's the love at? And that you served your debt to society, but yet you can't get a job.
Why you keep making examples of my life? Because I remember when I was 15, 16 years old, I fucked up and did some dumb shit. Then, 30 years later, the shit was like squashed, right? I get a job at Lyft and Uber. And I'm driving Lyft and Uber for years.
They did it. They did it to me.
And then they said, well, you know what? We changed our rules. We're going back now 30, 40 years versus 7 years statute of limitations on shit that you already been done and paid for. Now, yeah, you had an assault, there was assault, and you're dealing with people. I know it's 30 years ago, but now you've been working with me for 5 years with no problems. I don't trust that you will still. I don't trust. Yeah, platinum.
5 stars.
5 stars, and you've brought other people, and you brought a whole bunch of. I thank you so much. But now that we change, you deal with people, and you did something 30 years ago.
When you was a teenager.
When you was a teenager, 16 years old. I don't trust you now to drive with these people because you committed an assault on them, and you might do it again. So you know what? You can't drive for me anymore. And from that moment, that's when I had all the problems because I'm like, I was making good money driving from Lyft and Uber. And once they
did that shit to me
and
too.
out of the blue,
They
it was
did
like
that shit
you
to
didn't
me
pass
too.
your background. I'm saying.
And I was a
I haven't done
misdemeanor.
anything in over 30 years.
Okay.
I haven't done anything in 25, 30 years. I'm 47 years old. I haven't gotten in trouble with y'all since 16 years old. Oh, but yes.
But it's funny that their 16-year-olds get to go to rehabilitation.
Oh, yeah.
They get to go to the country.
It was a mistake.
They won't even get on the bus.
Boys will be boys.
Yes.
That's they put up.
Yes.
They raped the black woman. Boys will be boys.
Hey, good. Fuck the black woman.
He didn't take his meds. He went to counseling.
He's rehabilitated. You're not.
He was troubled.
He was troubled.
Boys will be boys.
Hey, but it's just like
Go
these
ahead, bring it
dudes,
out,
right? In California, just real quick, these dudes in California, right? They get these niggas out the joint and they make them fight wildfires. But when they get out of jail, they can't be a goddamn fireman.
Right.
So you got all this firefighting experience in the worst of elements. You
I'm
got
talking about
on
they
the
got
job
them niggas
training
out
where
there.
your life is about it. So you're better trained than almost every fireman around alive that's actually that has to do that particular thing. But you won't be qualified to actually go and become a fireman.
If your ass don't die.
So that's crazy, man. You put a man on that's like sending a man to war and making him fight on the front lines, and then they're bringing him back, and he can't become a police officer, or he can actually, or he can't become, something with a high security level.
That's fucked up.
They actually do
That
that.
makes no sense.
They do that. They do that. I had a friend.
They'll say, oh no, he might have PTSD, he might do this. You'd rather not have this guy who's been out in the warfare because we don't trust
they
them.
do that.
That's why a lot of veterans are going crazy and coming against the system.
My father.
Because they treat people, the veterans, Jamashapat.
Yeah.
Jamashapat went through hell and hot fucking water just to get his the things that they promised him for going to fucking war. That's what the scriptures say.
And then they'll get no respect.
It's a great crime against the Heavenly Father for a soldier. Someone gets
A man of war to suffer poverty.
Get it.
While he's looking for it, bring that scripture out, brother.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land.
Right?
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Right. So while these people are enjoying, tubing with their families on these lakes, they covered up the dwelling places where Jacob had made prosperous towns. All right, to prove that they're not just niggers and niggards and all of that. And in these towns, they were actually doing better than white people, at this particular time, and proved that they had to get rid of stuff like this too, because this killed all the Darwinism and white superiority bullshit that had been being taught. Because these false narratives, because these Negroes were able to, in behind enemy lines in their enemy's land, build towns for themselves, or actually that were had autonomous wealth and were thriving, and actually were doing better than a lot of Edomite communities in their own country, in their own stolen land.
Boots on
Right? And so they killed these people, drove them out of their lands, and then they flooded these lands and made lakes. You can get that tubing shit off now and put it back. To hide their crimes, to hide their wickedness. All right.
Karab, you got this scripture.
This Sirach 26 and 28. There be 2 things that grieve my heart, and the third that make me angry. a man of war that suffereth poverty, and a man of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin, the Lord prepares such as one for the sword.
Wow, somebody put it up on the screen as soon as you start reading it.
And the funny thing is, you got these soldiers hazarding their lives, going out there on the front lines, doing all this shit for the country,
leaving a family,
and then they lose their family, losing their children, and so forth. Then they come back over here home, supposed to be getting all this American dream. That they went and got the GI Bill, they went and do all the BAM, and then they come back over here got to beg.
the VA hospital.
Got to beg to get coverage at the VA. Got to go beg
the VA is horrible.
To get a room at a VA facility. And it's like, wait a minute, if I went and worked for you, made you trillions of dollars, don't I get enough to have me own my own house? Pop's over here right now. Malcolm Capo, D-Man. Brother, we know the brothers who were in the military because they speak on it. You know what I'm saying? And they're sitting over here struggling paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Hustle to hustle because Esau, Edom, they fought for them, got rich off them, but won't give them nothing back.
Hey, but and that's how you know. Hey, when we went to war, hey, even if we split the spoils of war, even with the
Then you get it, and you break it down.
Oh yeah, with King David. This is Deuteronomy.
And this is why you know this place is ultra wicked.
Because this really the righteous thing to do. Because if your homie go to war for you, even if, let's say you got a woman, you just got a new wife, you can't go to war. You got to deal with your woman. That's according to the law. You gotta deal with your woman for a certain amount of time.
1 year.
But the Lord, you still broke bread. You ain't nowhere in hell you got friends and you got homies and you don't break bread with your brothers, man. That ain't happening.
Let me get $20.
You know? Hey, I got you, brother.
I just had Deuteronomy 21.
Salakia. Go ahead, brother.
Before we see a captive woman.
Come.
Was that what you said, bro?
No.
What did somebody pull
About when it was a story about in Joshua when he said Moses promised me this land. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, you can have that, and he gave him more on top of that. You know when you
for Caleb, it was Caleb and Joshua.
God, you know he even gave him more land than what Moses said he can get, man. You know, but here in America, they come back home, they gotta fucking pay bills, paycheck to paycheck, taxes. They fucking wife that been out here slutted out. All right, on the base. Homeless.
Yeah, on the base.
Hey, his damn commander.
He'd be popular, right?
Look, brother, and anybody in the military, and you know, anybody on the common board is in the military, any brothers in the military, you can be a witness. But I'm telling you, I remember every time one of them naval ships left, and all them sailors and all them Marines on that ship, they wives were the wives were in the clubs for the next 6 months while they were on deployment. And they ain't never changed. All right, to this day, that's still what goes on, man.
That's what that nigga.
A lot of the wives, especially ones that break out their families, their wives move on to the base and live. You know, they got the housing on the base.
God.
So, and then you're right. So you have these unmarried soldiers that be going into the family houses, and you know.
Coming up,
bras, man.
At least that's what they call it.
And it's the bras that are actually seeking them out.
That's it.
And a lot of men experience it, and a lot of young brothers experience that. They don't know what's going on. They think they done got them some new hot chick, and they with them for 4, 5, 6 months, and all of a sudden that last like 30 days, the chick start pulling away from you.
Right.
And you like, damn, what's going on? I thought we,
Oh,
and then finally her man about to come back home. So she's starting to, and it's like, damn. And I witnessed that shit over and over again, man. So the military is full of wickedness and allows women to be extra wicked, man. And then a lot of these women, they call them Westpac widows. Con, brother.
That's right.
Westpac widows. That's right, brother. When you go in that Westpac, the water, brother. I forgot about that term. Yeah, but
Jake was in the military.
But yeah, man. Hey, because we all witnessed it, man.
Consider Jake going to fucking the military, thinking that he got his woman back in fucking home, come back and find that she's pregnant by some motherfucker else.
They show you that in
Dead. She come out, the baby come out black. You a whole Edomite.
Me, myself, and Irene.
Hey, brother,
They had
a lot.
There was a video.
Right? That's a lot.
There was a video where the Edomite dude, she's all with him. He's about to deploy, and the girl's hugging on him. They're all married and shit. The same outfit she wore in the picture when he was leaving, she was in a porno video.
Oh yeah,
with the same
I
outfit
seen the
on.
video.
The same day he left.
The day,
and
yeah, I
found
seen
out
that.
about it. You see?
Yeah, come on, man. This is
bugged
man.
out.
Wow.
She literally was in the whole casting couch shit with the same outfit on. I was like,
so that means it was the same.
It was the same day. She had the same outfit. Sitting on the couch, sitting on the casting couch. That shit was falling, man.
So he got on the boat and she went from the.
And she went
rolled the boat.
So this system, this place is just wicked, and it just has to go. Yeah.
that's right.
She boarded the boat.
It has to go.
She rode the boat.
And
She
we live in a
motored the boat.
system that allows that to happen.
That's right.
And then you got to think too. These, you know, all this money that goes to, it takes all kind of extra money to especially for women who actually are in the military. We're not even talking about moving out the families, but then you're talking about the women who are also in the military. All the extra that it takes to support and take care of them, that it didn't take, that you didn't have to spend and take that sort of money on when it was just men, like it was supposed to be in the ancient world. Man, a woman is not supposed to go out and be, you know, fighting for her country and all that. And then what happens is these women get into the military. And then they get all these positions in the military that men used to have, and then they get pregnant, or they're not even strong enough to do, physically strong enough to do the jobs, and then so the man ends up pulling them, doing all the work for them.
Yep.
You know,
That's normally what happens, though.
Or another thing, they bring that same hood mentality, that use the system mentality, right into the military. They get in there and they start getting pregnant by different soldiers and having children, and then so they get in their check. The soldiers check, and then they get the housing benefits, and all they get. Man, it's a whole other level of it in the military.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like guaranteed extra money, and then basically they'll spend all their time in the military having babies, making money, collecting all this money, and then they never even actually get to do their jobs, man, because someone else is always doing it for them.
That's why the nigga woman was crying in that video.
Right. She went from twerking.
She went from twerking to crying.
That's why if you on TikTok and you see a military bitch pop up, check the comments. You're gonna see me there. I troll one of them, man. That's why I tell them the same thing. It's my go-to comment. This is why Russia and North Korea gonna win, man. Y'all over there making TikToks. They over there training, cracking bitches. They fucking skulls, man.
The dudes twerking. So like the dudes.
Yes.
They had the fucking dude. I'm here to talk about some. Show me what you got. Grown ass fucking 6 foot 2.
America's God's army.
Then one more thing about you stupid ass bitches in the military. The thing about it is, here it is, you gonna put on a helmet, get you an M16 or whatever the fuck they get, strap your boots on, and go fight. But as soon as Tyrone slapped the shit out you, over here you calling 911. What type of sense does that make? You telling me you apt to be on the police force, to be a security guard, to be in the military, but when I slap the dog shit out you in the liquor store, you gotta call the police. Hey, you bitches are stupid.
Hey, what you say? I didn't say I got for this. Bitch, you joined the
I'm trying to come over here and go get my GI Bill to go pay for my education.
For God's sakes.
That's funny that you say that, because I want to do a video on that same said video because that same said reason. And I want to put it in juxtaposition with the Spetsnaz training, Koreans training, and all these other real hard people. Anybody who joins an army, you are signing yourself to fight. And you might die. This was like, I didn't sign up for this. Real quick, I'm reading it. I'm reading this. It's talking about that Hellcat, right? Now she put up that U.S. looted Iraq's museums and the ancient ruins.
The main reason they were doing that was to hide all the dark artifacts to prove that the people during those time periods were dark, were melanated people. That's what that was all about.
I'll sit back on that side.
You know, that's what that's all about. But you know, he's just rolling the dice with Sister Girl there. She's trying. She's either with you or she's not.
She trying.
This is Nahum 3 and 13. Behold, I'm gonna start at 12. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of eater. Man, because through everything about this place is done. So whatever made you great, your money, your democracy, now to your army, man, it's through. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open until thy enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars. And of course, that's talking about your men being pussies, but it's also literal, man. Your fighters are fucking women.
Literally, yeah. I watched that show Vikings with, you know, and it tells you right in the show that all these stories are make believe, so all this shield maiden shit. You know, they know what the shield maidens gonna form a shield wall and protect the cities from them. Right? Shield maidens gonna get their shield smashed and bent over. And that's pretty much it.
They tell you that even with these bitches in American armor, they gotta get raped, man.
And then right,
a lot of them do.
That's all happening. Matter of fact, you know, we've had brothers tell us about the things they saw overseas, man. Because what they do is they put the train away from the barracks. So the woman has to walk across a dark field at night, you know, to go. She got to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, man. And dudes be out there in the dark waiting for them, and they just bone them up. And they don't even know we ran through them. You know?
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, I ain't seen for these brothers, but I wish one of you bitches would.
So you get raped. So you get raped by your own countrymen, your own soldiers, who's supposed to be rah America, and you know, and they hiding all this shit, man. America's through, man.
I know a bitch that happened to.
America's through, man.
She fucked up.
Right? Bring it out, brother.
Is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. You know, precept into the list of all the bombings that were happening, you know, all throughout, you know, America's history. You know, he doesn't keep at home. And even when you break down to how he deals on the day-to-day, how he runs his nation, his desire is as death, man. He can never get enough. You know, he's just trying to get profits upon profits and fuck everybody else, man.
He always want more.
Yep, which proves that this is that wicked seed, Esau, Edom, man, who is an authority, man. Finishing it off, it says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all peoples.
The melting pot, man.
I got a precept. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 6. It says, in the house of the righteous is much treasure, which is the spirit that we have right now. Because after this, there's another story after this, man. It's the kingdom. And that's what we're building up these spiritual riches. And it says, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. So the revenues that Esau is collecting, he's really just collecting debt right now. His continual of wanting to hoard and take everything on the earth is about to be his demise, man.
Con, brother. We're gonna read these last two statements on here, and we're gonna shut it down. That Job 14 and 5, and then they said GMS fit the Most High 7 Ba. He said they be raping the men. How much more the women? And there have been cases of men in the military getting raped. That's right. So that's a very true statement. But Job 14 and 5, it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So, you know, and they're to that point, man. They're about to hit that line that they can't cross, man. Hey, so and when we're very happy. This is exciting times and exciting days. We're getting to see these wicked people get put down, and righteousness will finally reign in the earth, and all these horrific, horrible things we were just speaking about, they won't be happening anymore, man. Right? Men will be men and women will be women. And, you know, and the earth will actually be in peace and harmony.
And the scripture says, surely you're turning the things upside down, shall be esteemed
as
potter's clay. So the Lord's going to take that clay, and even though he had made some castle, he made some kingdom, he made some people, whatever, he's going to take all that clay, he's going to do like this, and ball on a big ass ball, and going to start all over again and set up the righteous kingdom. This, you don't know the Most High, man. You follow these scriptures, how about, you know, try to put out there, this is what the Most High's will be done. All right.
Con. And so with that, we're gonna give all praises, all honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash,
Wa- Abba- Abba-
Abba, Abba.
Till next time, y'all.